Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2023 or Pokemon Horizons the Series anime episode review. This time I am talking about episode 38, so let's get to it. In this episode, the Rising Bolt tacklers are forced to make an emergency landing in a forest due to an intense storm. The next day, Mollie conducts medical checkups on several Pokemon. First up is Snorunt, who is perfectly healthy. Then Hatenna, who Liko says has been acting weirdly. Turns out she is just anxious after going through the storm, which is understandable considering the trauma the previous storm she experienced gave her. Chansey wraps Hatenna in a comfy towel which relaxes her, leading to a cute moment of friendship between them. The engine room crew, who had to put in extra work to get through the storm, then comes in for their checkup next. Mollie tends to Slugma and Gargle, while Chansey heals Charizard with an egg. I guess this counts as using soft-boiled. The final patient is Shuckle, who has a small needle stuck in it, which Mollie easily removes. Chansey then finishes treating it by using Heal Pulse. Adorably, Hatenna imitates Chansey by trying to use Heal Pulse herself. While she fails, Mollie comments that Chansey got herself a cute little apprentice. Hatenna soon senses something, so she runs off in a panic. Liko and Mollie follow her, which leads them to an injured Tandemaus at their doorstep. While Mollie and Chansey provide some first aid to it, Liko realizes, thanks to the Pokedex, that they are down one mouse. Mollie and Chansey decide to take Tandemaus to the infirmary so that it can rest. But it runs into the forest instead since it wants to find its partner. It uses Follow Me to get Liko and Mollie to go with it. Tandemaus leads them to a small cavern which is blocked off by a giant tree that collapsed due to the storm. While they all work together to try moving it, they can't even make it budge. However, Sprigatito and Tandemaus work together to make the gap between the tree and the ground bigger by digging. This allows Liko, Sprigatito, Hatenna, and Tandemaus to enter the cavern, while Mollie and Chansey stay outside since the entrance is not big enough for them. Liko and company soon find the other Tandemaus, who is also injured. Liko picks it up and she hands it over to Mollie for treatment. She then gets ready to exfil the cavern with all the Pokemon, but the first Tandemaus stays put, crying out into the cavern. Liko realizes that there are likely more Tandemaus in need of aid deeper inside the cavern, so she decides to go rescue them, though she opts to leave Hatenna with Mollie, since the anguish of the injured is proving to be too much for poor Hatenna. Liko, Sprigatito, and the Tandemaus march ahead until they reach a fork in the road, which leaves them unsure of where to go. Constantly crying out soon takes its toll on Tandemaus, who faints, making the situation more dire. Meanwhile, Hatenna decides that she wants to help her trainer and the fellow Pokemon, so she gets an egg from Chansey and a towel to carry it with from Mollie. She then heads into the cavern once more. She soon catches up to Liko and company. Liko is delighted because Hatenna is here to help. However, Hatenna keeps running past them, since she senses where the other Tandemaus are. So she leads everyone through the maze-like cavern and eventually they find the other Tandemaus. Now, initially, for whatever reason, when I noticed that these two are smaller than the other Tandemaus, my first thought was that these are babies. The cavern soon starts caving in. Thankfully, Sprigatito saves everyone with leafage. However, the exit is now blocked. Realizing that they must move fast before the cavern keeps crumbling, Liko tries to get all the Tandemaus to recover using the egg, but they do not have the strength to eat. Liko's next idea is to have Hatenna use Heal Pulse like she was trying to earlier. With some encouragement from her trainer, Hatenna manages to use the move, which successfully allows all the Tandemaus to make a full recovery. It is here, when I saw them all running around together, that I finally realized that they had us in the first half. These aren't Tandemaus. This is a Maushold, specifically a family of 4, since of course there is another one with Mollie. Meanwhile, outside, the Rising Bolt Tacklers and several of their Pokemon work together to move the giant tree out of the way, so that they can rescue Liko and company. They succeed in removing the obstacle. However, before they can enter the cavern, Liko and all the Pokemon emerge through a wall nearby, much to Mollie's delight and Freed's confusion, since he checked and there aren't any other entrances/exits in this cavern. Liko reveals that Maushold made a new exit by eating through the soil. With the crisis resolved, the episode cuts to the airship, where Mollie fails to give proper treatment to Maushold, since they runs around the infirmary wildly. It is here, thanks to the Pokédex once again, that Liko and Mollie realize that they rescued a Maushold, not 2 Tandemaus. The episode ends with Mollie saying, as Maushold plays with Hatenna and Chansey, that things will get even more hectic now that they have some new friends. So that's the short but detailed summary of the episode. Now it's time to highlight, analyze, and comment on my favorite moments and/or moments that are noteworthy/interesting. I will dispense with what I have been saying for the past few reviews, since I don't want to keep repeating myself, especially since I surely don't need to tell you that the episode was not terribly exciting or important, etc. Instead, I will focus on what I liked about the episode. Probably my favorite part is that they did fool us into mistaking Maushold for Tandemaus, a trick that only worked because of the unique nature of these 2 Pokemon, whose only difference is an added little mouse or 2. This twist had me facepalming while smiling, so it was fun. I of course love that we got to see Maushold and the Tandemaus kind of animated for the first time. Like I said, they really are creative and interesting in a fun way, not to mention adorable. I am glad that they joined the team, since it means we will get to see more of their shenanigans. It's great that Hatenna finally got some focus. Better yet, not only did she show some great character growth by choosing to help Liko and company despite being scared, but she even learned a new move that will allow her to play a supporting role in future battles and conflicts, something that makes her stand out. Finally, I love that normally cats and mice are enemies, but in this episode, this was not the case, since Sprigatito was genuinely caring with Maushold several times and they even worked together. This was both nice and cute to see. But those are my thoughts on and analysis of the episode. Now it's time to bring this review to a close by going over my overall opinion of the episode. So overall, this episode was fine. The anime debut of a fun and unique Pokemon, Hatenna's meaningful growth, and a hilarious twist all made this a thoroughly enjoyable and entertaining episode, despite it being another mostly inconsequential one. But that's the review and the video. Click on the links on screen now to see my reviews of the previous 3 episodes. I will see you over there. Thank you so very much for watching.